Hi guys, Ali Duzette here. We're working on romance energy this month, and today on my agenda, we have a job to clear out our tendencies to create drama. Do you create drama in your relationships? Nobody wants to admit to it, but because it's much easier to blame everybody else for causing our dramas, but we all cause a little drama in our lives from time to time. I feel like I'm pretty drama free, but even I succumbed to creating drama just a few weeks ago, and it still torments me today. I'm like, I, you know, I've used my tools and stuff like that, but I lost a friend over this stupid situation, and I love her and I miss her, and I don't know. Sometimes we make mistakes that cause a bunch of drama, and sometimes that's very true in our romance energy. How have you caused drama for yourself in your romance, in your romantic life? I'm thinking of the times, this happened like 3 or 4 times because I'm an idiot. I shouldn't say that. I was so I don't know. But I would like write notes to the guys that I liked, be like, I really like you. We could be together. And they would like be like, what the heck? Don't do that. Don't be like me. Don't do that. Um don't do that. Okay. But where are you doing this? Where are you creating situations that are very avoidable if you just like kept your mouth shut, if you just said the right thing instead of the wrong thing, if you just decided to like detach emotionally from a weird situation, if you decided you didn't have to say that thing, um, where are we creating drama in our own lives? Where are we inserting ourselves into relationships that we do not belong in? Where are we creating conversations that don't need to exist? Where are we doing this kind of thing in our romantic lives? Of course, this can happen when you're single and it can happen when you're married. Tons of married people are self-sabotaging and creating drama in their own marriage relationships. Where are you creating drama in your romantic life? Whether that is you have no romantic life and no prospects, whether you are married, happily married or unhappily married, we're just going to tune in really quick and ask our own selves, where am I the source of the drama in my romantic energy? Okay, let's go ahead and breathe it in. Where am I the source of my own drama, romantically speaking? What comes into your mind? Okay, hopefully something has come into your mind. Um, what kind of belief system do you need to shift? What emotion or past event do you need to process? Okay, here's something important to understand about creating drama in romantic relationships. We only create drama because our brains think it's going to serve us in some way. Okay, all of the things that we create, all of our self-sabotage in our relationships, it comes from a space of your brain thinking it's going to help you. This is going to be helpful to you somehow. So why does your brain think it's really helpful for you to verbally attack your spouse, to do little jerky moves to irritate your loved one? Why does your brain think it's like really smart to continually engage in patterns that are not working out for you romantically? Why does your brain think that those patterns are so great? That is the real question. If we can figure out the answer to that question, then we can start unraveling the patterns. If we start trying to unravel the patterns from the outside in, we're going to have some big problems because your brain is going to say, no, absolutely not. We are not going to rewire that. Like, what are you thinking? And you're going to find yourself doubling down on this self-sabotage. So let's use nagging as an example. So say you're nagging all the time and you know that it's not helpful. Your spouse does not respond to it. It makes you upset and makes him upset. And you're like, fine, I'm not going to nag anymore. But all you're doing, all in your mind, all you're doing is like changing the external behavior. Um, and you're not doing the inner work of why you're nagging. So here's the real question. Why are you nagging? Well, you're nagging because your needs are not getting met. Well, what are those needs and why are they not getting met, right? And so in my book, Magnetic Femininity, I talk a lot about this, about how we nag for these different chores to get done, and we feel like the real problem is the chore, but actually, a lot of times the real problem is our feeling. So in the book, I give this example um, where my own husband did not mow the lawn in many weeks, and there were weeds all over the lawn, and we have like even some like spiky weeds back there. My kids couldn't play out there, and I was getting upset. And in previous years, I would have been like, honey, mow the lawn. Like the lawn is disgusting. What is wrong with you? Like, go mow the lawn. Um, but it turns out the lawn is not actually the problem, right? Like, is it the end of the world if a lawn goes unmowed? Like, no, it is not. And that's kind of perhaps the default setting of a lot of our spouses. Like, what's your problem? It's not the end of the world if I don't fix this thing or if I don't get this chore done. If the garbage has to sit for an hour longer than you want, it's not the end of the world. And it's not. The real problem is our feelings, especially as women. The real problem is our feelings. The problem was not that the lawn was not mowed. The real problem was that I was feeling a lot of stress because my kids were stuck in the house all the day. They wanted to play outside and they couldn't. And so they were whining at me, and it was making my blood pressure rise, and I was feeling upset. So when I went to my husband from that space instead, I didn't have to say, hey, go mow the lawn. The lawn's disgusting. Go mow it. What I could say is, hey, I have a real problem. I'm feeling a lot of stress. He said, why? And I said, well, because the kids really want to play outside and they can't. He said, oh, why can't they play outside? I said, well, because the weeds are like taller than people and someone needs to mow the lawn. The weeds are so big the kids can't play. And he said, oh, but I can fix that. I can just mow the lawn. I said, oh, really? He was like, yeah, I'll do it today. And he did. He got right off work and mowed the lawn immediately. And it was not nagging. And he was happy to do it. And it felt like his idea, and it was his idea. And I did not have to say, go mow the lawn. All I had to do was take my real problem, which was not the lawn at all. The real problem was my feeling. How does this relate to creating drama in our romantic lives? Well, I think a lot of our drama comes down to not having our emotional needs met, but we ignore that part and we focus on the external stuff. My emotional need was to not have my kids scream at me. Like my feelings were in disarray because of this situation. And the external, the frosting on the cake was that the lawn wasn't mowed, right? Like that's an obvious solution to this, but it's not the real problem. The real problem was not that the lawn was messed. The real problem was that my feelings were stressed. Because if I had not had that stress, then it wouldn't matter if the lawn was mowed or not, right? So, so when it comes to creating our dramas, right? When we're sitting there thinking of all these solutions and what we wish was happening, I'm going to invite us to take a few steps back and say, no, what is the real feeling in my heart? What is the real feeling that's going on in there that needs to be addressed? Um, so for example, like if you're chronically writing notes to these guys that you want to ask you out and they're not, and then you freak them out, then perhaps we need to pause the pattern for a minute and dig in and find out what are the real feelings that are going on that we need to feel and sit with and process instead of taking these patterns external. For example, we need to work on our issues of insecurity and fear. And if I don't initiate something, then nothing will ever happen for me. Like these belief programs, that's the thing that we need to dig into. Why do we believe that if I don't initiate things, nothing is going to happen for me? What is the root source of that belief? We dig into that. In the context of a marriage, maybe we're creating drama with our in-laws or something. I just made that up. But it's causing a bunch of trauma in the marriage relationship or something. And so why are we really doing that? Well, again, maybe there's big feelings of insecurity and fear, and I need my spouse to choose me over their parents. Um, you know, can we dig into the real underlying cause so that we can stop the drama in its tracks? The drama is the frosting on the cake. The external stuff that we're dealing with in all of our relationships, that's the frosting. If you're having a terrible relationship with somebody, that's the frosting. You got to go into the middle of the cake. You got to dig right in, guys. What is going on in your own heart that is leading you to engage in these situations that are leading to this drama? That's where you dig in. Okay. So ready, set, go. That's your homework for today. Dig in and ask yourself these deep questions. I feel stress about not being married, about not being asked on dates, or these dates with this weird guy, having this drama with my husband, having this drama with my wife. Okay, that's the frosting. We're going to dig deeper. Let's go deeper. What are the feelings involved? What are the patterns that you're creating, and why are you creating them? Why are you making this drama happen? What are the beliefs? What are the emotions? That's where we dig in. Okay, that's your homework today. Ready, set, go. I'll see you tomorrow.